Former New York Giant Tiki Barber sounded off on Saquon Barkley when he signed with the Philadelphia Eagles, but that move put him in the best situation of any running back who signed in free agency.
He's dead to us.
Because he won't say it.
You're dead to us, Saquon. Good luck. You're dead to me.
You asked for it and we delivered. It's Fan Friday, and you, the fans, chose today's topic for Point of View. Don't forget to leave a comment down below and let me know which running back you think is in the best spot with their new team. There's plenty of options. You got Josh Jacobs in Green Bay, Derrick Henry is a Raven, and plenty more veterans moved around the league. But no other running back had a better offseason than Saquon Barkley, and his new team gives him the best chance to return to his rookie form. Barkley was one of the most hyped-up running backs in recent memory when he was drafted second overall by the New York Giants in 2018, and he lived up to the hype right away when he won Offensive Rookie of the Year and led the league in yards from scrimmage. But injuries slowed him down the past 5 seasons, and he hasn't been the same player we saw when he was with Penn State. That was a big reason why the Giants didn't want to give Barkley a contract extension and instead franchise tagged him in 2023. So when the news broke that he signed a 3-year, $37.5 million deal with the Eagles to make him the 4th highest paid back in the league, it wasn't all that surprising to most of us. But somehow, it was a devastating betrayal in the eyes of many people associated with the Giants franchise. Owner John Mara said that Barkley's decision to sign with the Eagles made him sick, and we already heard former Giants running back Tiki Barber say that Barkley is dead to him on WFAN. Those are some pointed words towards a guy who has been nothing but great for your franchise, and I couldn't be more happy that he's no longer employed by that mediocre franchise. For that reason alone, Barkley made a great choice. Not to mention he didn't just choose the Eagles despite the Giants, as some seem to think. He was a Nittany Lion for 3 years and spent his childhood just an hour and a half north of Philly. Here's Barkley talking about that connection to Pennsylvania and the opportunity to win on the New Heights podcast.
I get to come back to Pennsylvania. My family's from Pennsylvania. My lady, our kids, like grandmas, all that's from Pennsylvania. So we're already close. We even get to get closer.
Nice.
And get a chance to compete. I got to admire them for afar. Admire, what he was able to build over there, and get to be able to be in part of that culture.
Oh, yeah.
It was a no-brainer for me.
Be sure to check out the rest of that podcast episode. But Barkley mentioned it. This was his move back home as much as it was a great football decision. And that isn't going to be overlooked. That was a great move by him for football reasons as well. Before we get to that, here are the results of this week's poll question. Thanks to everybody who participated, and look out for another question next week. Back to it. In Barkley's 6 seasons with the Giants, he had a grand total of 18 rush attempts in 2 playoff games, and it doesn't appear the Giants will be back in postseason anytime soon. So good for Barkley for getting out of there and focusing on bigger goals. The Eagles, on the other hand, provide a perfect on-field situation. They may have crumbled a bit to end last season, but they're still built to contend for Super Bowls right now, and Saquon may have been the missing piece on offense. When the Eagles made their Super Bowl run in 2022, Miles Sanders averaged 4.9 yards per carry on 259 attempts, and the Eagles were top 5 in the league in yards and attempts. They also had Kenneth Gainwell serve as the receiving back, and he had 23 catches for an average gain of 7.3 yards per reception. Last year, DeAndre Swift wasn't as efficient on the ground as Sanders, though he was still a Pro Bowler, and Gainwell wasn't as effective through the air. By signing Barkley, they now have a back that can do both. If we just look at the past 3 seasons, when Barkley played at least 13 games, he averaged 235 rush attempts for 956 yards and 46 receptions for 294 yards per season. And that's all while dealing with nagging ankle, elbow, and neck injuries. Now Eagles' new offense coordinator Kellen Moore can work to maximize Barkley over an offseason where he should be fully healthy. Here's head coach Nick Sirianni on what Barkley brings to the team and how he values the position.
So I've been here for 3 years. This will be my 4th year, and 2 out of the 3 years we had a Pro Bowl running back on a top 10 offense. We'll see what the awards that Saquon gets, but we know we're adding a really good piece right there. So we've always valued that position. Sometimes it's value of that position with, and I'm speaking as an offensive coach, sometimes it's value of that position by handing him the ball a bunch. Sometimes it's getting the ball in the pass game. That can look a lot of different ways, but we know that we're really excited about the addition of Saquon, and we know how good our backs have done for us these last couple years.
And I fully trust Sirianni to get the most out of Barkley. It's not the same position, but he's gotten the most out of A.J. Brown the last 2 years and turned him into a perennial All-Pro selection. So why can't he do the same with Barkley? Just look at what Barkley was able to do last season in both the run and pass game while battling injuries. On this play, he shows his elite vision by staying patient as the play develops and then bursting through the middle, making a man miss and outrunning a DB to get the most out of the play. Then on this play, he shows he can do more than just catch a screen pass or just short dump off. When the play breaks down for rookie Tommy DeVito, Barkley works up the right side of the field and snags a high pass while keeping his feet in bounds. That's tough for a receiver, let alone a 230-pound running back. So Barkley still has plenty left in the tank to help the Eagles' offense get back into form that led them to a 10-1 start to the 2023 season. And for Barkley, he gets to go to a place where he's valued like he should, and the state that he called home for most of his life. Sounds like a win-win to me. So if we're talking about the free agent running back that ended up in the best situation, it's got to be Saquon. Another player from this offseason that's on the move to another Pennsylvania team is Russell Wilson. For more on what he can do to fix the Steelers, check out our recent point of view. Enjoy the weekend, and hope to find you here again next week.